50, 45, there goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game! Auburn's going to win the football game! He ran the missed field goal back! He ran it back 109 yards! They're not going to keep him off the field tonight! Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins! Auburn has won the Iron Bowl! Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see!
Orange and blue skies, baby. Welcome on into the Dream Wager, episode 395. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. And Eve, the New York Knicks are up 1-0. How the fuck you doing?
I'm doing great. Amazing day, great weather. Playoff basketball.
Yeah.
You saw Verlander get smoked today. So.
It was amazing. Real quick, let me tell you a story. So I went to the Yankee game with my dad for his birthday, and he goes, "Oh, we're gonna go see a Hall of Famer." And I go, "Yeah, hopefully they win." And even Yankee fans, everyone was down there trying to get his autograph. And I'll say it, he was a nice guy. He signed a lot of balls for kids, and then he got smoked. It was great, honestly. It was great to see. My dad was happy. They won 10-3. Going back to his hometown in the Bronx. So it was good to see. I'm doing good too, kid. Like you said, playoff basketball, full effect. The baseball's doing well. I think we're staying hot on the diamond as well. But let's start with game one at the Mecca. My boy Stephon Marbury was right there with Larry Starks, courtside. Knicks take game one, 121-117. They don't cover, but they get the win. Fourth consecutive 40-point game from Jalen Brunson. I mean, him and Anthony Edwards are going at it for the best player in the playoffs right now. 43 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, it was the three Nova guys. Josh Hart, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Donovan DiVincenzo hit a big three at the end, 25 points. He had 1 assist and 3 rebounds. But close one. Knicks take game one, kid. What are your thoughts?
Crazy roller coaster of a game, Till. Let's just be honest. The Pacers played a much better game than I anticipated. I had the Knicks minus the 6. The Pacers matched up well, Dill. That pace. We knew they were going to play at a high pace. Pushing the ball with Halliburton and whatnot. Very young team, but he didn't really show up offensively, Dill. 6 points, only 8 assists. Well, not only 8 assists, but you got to expect more from Halliburton. He was an all-star. He was making so many strides throughout the regular season. They only gives you 6 points at the Garden in game one, Dill. Pascal had a decent game. Neesmith, I think you took his over. He had a good game.
Yeah.
Miles Turner had a huge game. Then McConnell, whoa, for some reason he was unguardable, especially in the first half. He just kept going to the cup. It's not like he was making them outside shots. It's not like he was getting to the free throw line. He was just getting point blank layups on you guys, Dill. So that's one thing that could be concerned with, Dill. But overall, you gotta give credit for the Knicks pulling out a win, like you said, the 3 Villanova dogs. Brunson, Hart, and Vincenzo. Huge 3 at the end to basically seal it out. The only pushback I'm gonna give on the Knicks, Dill, is
the bench.
Not just the bench, but down the stretch. To me, y'all got lucky for winning that game, and I'm gonna explain to you why. In the last 2-minute stretch, Jalen Brunson had 3 turnovers alone. A questionable, decision making passing the ball. Couple ones, out of bounds where he got trapped or whatnot. But it was just poor decision making by his part at the end. I understand he got the win and all that, but he could have easily lost the game. And then the Miles Turner pick, was it a legal screen?
Yeah. But that didn't lose him the game. Let's put it down to one play.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All I'm saying is I'm breaking down the game, Dill. To Miles Turner, should have the foul been called? Absolutely not. Do I think the Knicks still possibly win the game? Absolutely. But I would like the game to be end or determined by a play, not on the official's whistle. The Halliburton or whoever could have easily missed a shot or something like that, or turned the ball over, or they could have scored. Then the Knicks could have, easy scored because they had a timeout left. I don't know, Dill. I just want to see the players decide the game, not the refs. So to me, in my opinion, you gotta let them play. Was it a foul? I'm gonna give 51%, yeah, but you can't make that call at that moment. So great game. Pacers played better than I expected to for game one at the Garden. It's definitely gonna be a better series than we thought. I think me and you will kind of lean in Knicks in 5. Definitely gonna series is definitely going 6. I doubt 7, but it wouldn't shock me if it goes 6 though.
Yeah, we also got news today. Mitchell Robinson is out for the rest of the playoffs. He's out for 8 weeks. He re-injured his leg, so it's just a tough roller coaster. He's always getting injured, Mitchell Robinson. I honestly really feel bad, but the bench for Indiana outscored the Knicks 46-3. Yeah, I'm gonna let that repeat. 46-3. I mean, it's gonna take a lot more from the Knicks if they want to keep going through. I think two things could be true at once. Was it a foul? Yes. Should have been called at that time? No, most likely not. 99% it shouldn't have been called. But two things can be true, and I don't like how not just you, just most of the media, First Take, ESPN, Fox Sports, everyone's running with the narrative. Oh, it, they shouldn't have called it, but the game didn't come down to that play. There were multiple chances where Indiana messed up down the road. So I agree there. I also agree on the because I called you right after the game, Jalen Brunson decision making, and it's not just this game. It's been multiple games down the stretch in the Philadelphia as well. He was making questionable decision making. So yeah, I do think that is a problem, but he's unguardable right now, especially in the mid range. He can't be guarded right now, and to guard him one-on-one, I don't think that's a very smart move by Rick Carlisle and the Indiana Pacers. Now, a lot of people are questioning, the minutes of the Knicks. 44 minutes for Brunson, 40 minutes for Hart, 44 for DiVincenzo. A lot of people are saying they're going to run out of gas. I don't think so. I truly don't. I'm not biased aside. Objectively, I don't think so. One, because they're conditioned to play all these minutes. Tom Thibodeau teams go and push a lot of minutes on the court. I don't think they'll get tired. We saw it in game 6 against Philadelphia when they were playing 40 minutes a game in the first round. They were fresh. I truly don't believe they're going to get tired. Now, they're going to, obviously, if they do advance, the teams are going to get better. So they're going to need help from the bench. McBride, who else from we need Achua coming off the bench now. McBride. I also think Alec Burks needs to get some minutes as well. Give Jalen Brunson at least 5 to 10 minutes of rest going down the stretch. But I don't think they'll get tired. I think we're a sneaky team. Like I said, I do think we need a little more help. I think we'll see some positive regression from the bench. But this team kind of reminds me of like the Heat from last year. We have one really good player and then a bunch of gritty guys that, play well together. Is that a fair comparison? I think if we get out of this series, I think we have a shot against probably Boston.
Do you have a shot? Absolutely, though. If the game is nip and tuck down the stretch of, each game, Jalen Brunson could definitely bring it home. Right now he's playing at a very high level offensively. Though he's unguardable. I think he had 18, 20 points just in the fourth.
24 points in the fourth quarter.
I was off by 6 points. So what he's flat out doing is just special. So can he be terrific once again and close the game down the stretch? Yes, absolutely. We saw Jimmy Butler do it. Last year, even 3 years ago, he did it as well. So. Can he do it? Yeah, it's just, Boston, they look dominant today. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But, I think right now you got to worry about Indiana, deal, because I think you will even admit the Pacers look much better than you expected them to.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's going to be a tougher series than I anticipated. I think the fast pace of a little bit will give us some problems. They don't let us set up on defense, and that's what I think sometimes is the beneficial of the Knicks is we kind of lock down defensively, especially when we get into foul trouble. We really lock in and play really good defense, and I think that's our Achilles heel. So yeah, I think the pace is really going to determine how this series goes. But I'm glad we got game 1. Game 2, we'll get our preview in just a bit. But yeah, big win at the Garden, and there's nothing like a crowd at the Garden, man. There's really nothing like it. T-Wolves, kid, they take the game. We said take the points. I think it was +5, and then it went all the way up to 7.5. Shout out Rudy Gobert and his wife. Hope they had a healthy born child. He didn't make the game, but they still won.
Also winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes, he did win Defensive Player of the Year.
First player, only player ever to win it 4 times.
Wow. He still gave the league COVID, though. That's fair. That's fair.
But one thing we can honestly say is we gotta have the conversation one day. Is Rudy Gobert one of the greatest defensive players of all time? Because he has the accolades to prove it. I'm not gonna say I know a lot of these. I'm gonna just say the OGs of the game not gonna agree with that. I'm not saying he is. All I'm saying is I think it's time to at least put some respect on Rudy Gobert's name. That's
100%. I agree. I mean, ever since we were in high school, I mean, early, maybe a little later than that, but he's been a dominant defender for 10 years, I would argue. But yeah, I'm glad he got that. Glad he got a kid. And, they're up to it. They took both games on the road, 106-80. I mean, what a game. I mean, the leading scorer was Aaron Gordon with 20 points. I mean, Michael Porter Jr., he was on clamps, 9 points. Jamal Murray, 8 points. He was awful. I want to talk about, him being fined and everything, but 27 points from Ant, 7 rebounds, 27 points from Cat as well. I mean, they were really the leader. You have Nazad Reed. He had 14 off the bench. Shout out Mike Conley, 17 years in the league. I know he only gave you 4 points, but 6 assists, that veteran presence in the locker room. I think they need that. But this team, kid, they're good.
They're not just good. They're great. Shout out Tony the Tiger. But still, I did not expect this. I know we both took, I think it was +5.5 on the show.
Yeah.
And then it clearly went up to 7.5, 8. With Rudy Gobert being out for the game. But still, I did not expect this. The Timberwolves got better defensively without the Defensive Player of the Year. Make that make sense.
Okay.
The Joker had a worse night without the Defensive Player of the Year guarding him. Make that make sense. That's my thing, Dill. How did this team, already the number 1 defensive team in the NBA, become better defensively without arguably the best defensive player in all of basketball? Till Karl Anthony Towns came out, he was on another level. He single-handedly took over the game, first quarter, first half. Anthony Edwards started sprinkling it in late second quarter, especially in the second half, started taking it off there. But the game was over late first, early second. I knew right then and the Timberwolves was going to control this game. Though they had a double-digit lead all game. We saw even Mike
Conley.
No, the head coach.
Michael Malone.
Michael Malone. You saw how frustrated he was?
That should have been a tech because Anthony Edwards got a tech for just talking.
Trust me. I don't know how he didn't get a tech. All I'm going to say is that's what happens when you win a championship.
Exactly.
You get that type of leeway. That's all I'm going to say is. But for the first time, I can honestly say ever, the Nuggets were frustrated. The Nuggets threw their hands up and simply didn't know what to do. They pouted. The Nuggets simply pouted just because they couldn't do nothing offensively. During the second quarter stretch, the Timberwolves looked like the greatest defensive team of all time. In the second quarter alone, Jamal Murray couldn't buy a bucket. The Joker only had, I think, 6 points at half.
They scored 15 points as a team in the second quarter.
Still, it was just pure dominance. So you got to give the coaching staff credit, the players for stepping up, knowing, Rudy wasn't going to be there, and the fact that they look great. I got to give Kyle Anderson his credit.
Yeah.
McDaniels his credit. Nas Reed his credit. He did a great job on Joke. And Karl Anthony Towns as well, though. What was his problem game 1? He was fouling. He fouled too much. Game 2, he wasn't in foul trouble, though. He played Joker, I'm not gonna say perfectly, but way better than I expected him to. So it's you gotta go back to the drawing board for the Denver Nuggets, though. They gotta find something offensively. Defensively, I think they're okay. You held Karl Anthony Towns 27, Edwards 27. Everybody else was kind of held in check, Bill. So defensively you're doing okay. You probably could be a little better, but offensively, Bill, you need somebody. If the Joker can't give you it, Aaron Gordon's your leading scorer. I think this is two games in a row. Aaron Gordon's your leading scorer. That's an issue. Michael Porter Jr. off game. Jamal Murray, I think he went scoreless the first first quarters of each game 1 and 2. That's just unacceptable for Jamal Murray. Caldwell Pope, he hasn't really showed up in the series still. So offensively, the Nuggets are just they can't get nothing going. So I think it's just the series might be over just because if we saw this dominance of a defensive play from the Timberwolves on the road, still how are they gonna be with the crowd behind them?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking bad right now. I would also argue, or just not argue, just put on top of your point. It's also the turnovers. They had 4 turnovers each. Jokic had 4 turnovers. Michael Porter Jr. had 4 turnovers. Jamal Murray had 4 turnovers. So,
real quick, I think Joker had 6 in game 1.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but they're, like you said, they are throwing a ton of different looks, and they're giving Jokic fits out there. And I'm glad you brought up Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, Mike Conley, and all the guys, because if you if you just look at the box score, you're going to be like, oh, why are you shouting them out? Defensively, they are doing their job night in and night.
And Alexandra, the young kid, he comes off the bench.
Oh yeah,
Nazir Alexander. He played with Bronny a couple years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he had 14 points off the bench.
He had a huge threes, and he was chuckling.
He had 4 threes.
He was chuckling while guarding Murray. He can't do nothing. He got the long arms. He's just Murray can't get up on him, Dill. He's forced to pass the ball.
Did the Wolves frustrate the Nuggets so bad that Jamal Murray went to start to cheat and throw his heating pad? No, I couldn't be more serious. And yes, I made a little joke, but I do think, and this might be the old man in me, and yeah, he got fined $1,000. 100,000. Yeah, it's like 100 to him though. I do thought he should have been suspended at least 1 game, and I'll say this: it's because, God forbid, he could have not even just hurt Cat. He could have hurt one of his own teammates, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. The video looks like he did do it on purpose, but I really think it just flew out of his hand.
Yeah, I think it slipped out of his hand.
It slipped out of his hand. But regardless, that just can't happen in the middle of a game when someone's coming down right above the rim. Someone could have got hurt. Thankfully, no one did it. I don't know. That's the Karen in me. That's the old man, like, get off my lawn. But, like, I don't know. At least 1 game, because you know damn well if Draymond Green did that, whether it was accidental or not, he would have been fucking thrown out for the rest of the series.
Yeah. Dill, is a 1 game suspension reasonable? Not down 0-2. You can't do that to them. Not down.
Another leeway for the defending champs.
If the Nuggets was up 2-0,
yeah,
suspension is okay. Understandable, Dill. But, was Jamal Murray wrong? Absolutely. Did he intend to do it? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say no. But it should have never happened in the first place. I understand you're frustrated, Jamal, but you know better, dog. You're a champ. You've been there and done that, bro. I understand you not getting the foul calls you expected. You probably thought that was a foul as well. Shit, I thought it was too. But I thought the following play was a foul as well. So, like, I don't know. Did you get run over by Anthony Towns? It looked like it. I think so. But did a KCP foul Anthony Edwards on the following layup? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, it's a give and take still. It just sucks that the defending champs looked like that. That frustrated, that weak, that exposed.
Yeah.
I never thought the Nuggets would look that bad.
And it doesn't look like they have an answer either. They look lost out there. That's what's confusing to me. An experienced team like this who have gone out there and won an NBA championship have no answers for a team that's relatively inexperienced in the playoffs. That's what's confusing. They can't guard Ant-Man to save their life. And at halftime, I put in a ticket for the T-Wolves to win the championship at plus 450. Right now, after the win, they are second behind the Boston Celtics at plus 280. Are they live?
Absolutely, Dill. To me, they look They look like the best team in the West. I'll tell you that. Let's
Yeah.
see what OKC and what the Mavericks, do. Right now I think they're about to go into half, but the Celtics are top dogs, undeniable. You gotta give them that factor. But right now, I think the Timberwolves are playing at a higher level just because the
Yeah.
competition factor. They beat the Suns. Now
Mhm.
they swept the Suns. Looking like they might sweep the Nuggets. Celtics, they played Miami. Jimmy Butler is Miami Heat, and respect, but it's still the
Yeah.
Cavs. Donovan Mitchell, great player, but at the end it's just the Cavs or Nuggets. Simple. Cavs or Nuggets.
6-0 in the playoffs for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 6-0 towards the spread. They've covered every game home and on the road, and now they go back on a 2-game series in Minnesota. They're looking to close it out. They're looking to fucking close it out. I actually like this team a lot. They are very fun. And like you mentioned, Boston Celtics, they take care of the Cleveland Cavaliers by 25, 120 to 95. I mean, outside of Donovan Mitchell, he dropped 33.6 rebounds and 5 assists. They couldn't really get anything going offensively. I saw that Evan Mobley, he struggled as well offensively.
No,
What?
he had a good game. Everybody else, yeah.
Yeah.
Darius Garland had an off night, 6 for 15 from the field. You know, he was known to give you, those high assist numbers, give you the, you know, teens to low 20 points. Though he gave you 14 and 5. That's just not enough. Donovan Mitchell, like you said, he was the only bright star, 33, 6 and 5. Marcus Struz, he still hasn't really had a good game in the playoff run. Evan Mobley, he went 8 for 12 from the field. Without Jared Allen, and they're definitely missing that other two-headed monster down low. But overall, though, it's the Boston Celtics. Though that defense, Derek White, he's playing at another level. Though he was on fire. He had 25. Jaylen Brown came out. I think he started something like 4 or 5 for 5 from the field. He had like 15 points in the first quarter. Jason Tatum had a. That's what this team is just great. When your best player has an off night and you win by 25. That's just greatness still. One of the best defensive teams in all the league, and arguably the best offensive team in the league. So gotta give credit to the Boston Celtics for just flexing their muscles and just showing they're the
Yeah.
best. They're still the best team in the East. So give credit to the. It's sorry to say this, but give credit to the Cavs, but it's looking like they're only gonna make it this far.
We said that last time against when they got the Heat, and then Heat wind up stealing game one. But I agree. I don't think this is that. I don't think they'll be able to. Maybe they'll steal a game, but I do think Boston will roll to the Eastern Conference Final. I mean, when Jason Tatum went 7 for 19, 0 from 5 from 3, and still won by 25, I think you're in trouble. I mean, Derek White has looked great this postseason. I think he's better bald than with hair, right?
Yeah. Still, I don't know what it is, but Derek White has been playing at an all-star caliber player, all-star caliber level, all playoff long, all
Yeah.
playoff long.
Yeah, they are favorites to win the NBA championship at minus 120 right now. But yeah, they take game one, big game for the Celtics. We're recording this live during the Mavericks and OKC. Right now, OKC's up by 9 at halftime, 62-53. Luka Doncic has 12 points. Daniel Gafford has 11, but Kyrie's struggling from the field right now. Only 6 points, but SGA, he's leading all scores with 19. Chet Holmgren has 11. So far, what have you seen from this game so far?
Dill, to be honest, Luka, he was grabbing his knee in the first quarter. That's a little concerning to me. Hopefully, it's nothing major or anything lingering. He's still in the game, still give you, but he's struggling from the field. 1 for 5 from 3, 4 from 12 from the field. Dill, it's just not really efficient. Like you said, Kyrie, he only got 6 points still, but he's shooting 50% from the field. So I think he just needs to get a little more shots. Needs to be a little more aggressive with the ball deal. Overall, I think Dallas Mavericks playing pretty well. Then with the OKC deal, to be honest, I'm a little surprised that they're playing kind of at the same level they did round one. I thought they would, not fold, but all I'm saying is be like, all right, we're in the second round. Maybe some you know how could I say it? Immaturity will show off, especially in the round two, though. And we're not seeing that, especially in the first half. Chet Holmgren shooting great from the field, 5 from 9. Like you said, Shy Gilgis, he's been impressive. He could easily win the MVP. I'm not sure if he will, but definitely deserves to get a couple of votes. And then you got Wiggins giving you 12 points from the bench, Jay Williams as well. So when you have a great overall performance from the team in the first half, though, that's a good sign that none of these young players are too rattled. Because Shy's gonna bring it, but when you have these other guys giving you what they're giving you, it is a good sign. So if I'm
Yeah.
the Dallas Mavericks, I'm a little concerned for the fact that all these other, the role players seem in rhythm, and then my superstars are not in rhythm. Kyrie and Luka Doncic. So to me, that's a bad recipe, especially going into the second half.
Yeah, because the Mavericks go as Luca and Kyrie go, and if they're struggling, it might be a long series.
Yeah.
So, we keep saying this is a young team, the Thunder, but they continue to prove us wrong, and they continue to show that they are legit. And if they wind up not sweeping, but maybe win 5-6 games and go to the Final Four, I mean, they are one of the top 4 teams right now, and they have the number 3 best odds to win the NBA championship at plus 700 behind Minnesota, which I think is fair. I think Minnesota is clearly the best team in the West right now. I think everyone could clearly say that. So, what else? No other basketball news, no NFL news. But did you watch Tom Brady roast?
Not though. I heard it's about 3 hours. I seen at least 20, I'm gonna say over 10 minutes of clips. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah.
I saw, a couple guests with their entire roast, a couple like 2 minutes, 3 minute spurts here. I saw Bill, him and Robert Kraft had a shot. Edelman,
Oh yeah.
I forgot her name, but she had a
Nikki Glazer. She was the best, bro.
Yeah, she was hilarious. So I saw her, I saw her like monologue and whatnot, but definitely want to tune in and sit down and watch the whole thing because it seemed pretty damn great. To be honest.
Oh my God, it was amazing, bro. There were Aaron Hernandez jokes, there was Giselle jokes. They really pushed the button. Live, there were no buffering, not like ESPN Plus, but Netflix, it was great. Tom Brady was a good sport. There was one Robert Kraft massage joke, and Tom Brady nipped that shit in the butt real quick. He said, no more. But other than that, it was great.
He's still pending trial.
Hey,
yeah, he ain't
all the facts did not come out, but Robert Kraft was a good sport too. He was just like, good luck buying the Raiders, Tom, and they already did what we didn't do for what we did for you. They traded Jimmy Garoppolo. It was great. You gotta watch it. Update. I have to watch Cars. I've been busy, but I will watch it. Everyone I've talked to has said to watch it, and everyone I've talked to has watched it. So
I'm telling you,
I feel like I'm the only person in this fucking world, that hasn't watched it.
Especially for our age group, though. That's like, it's up there. It's up there.
And to be honest, you know me, I'm a big Disney guy, so I love Disney movies.
That's why I'm more shocked. I'm shocked.
I'll have a review of my honest opinion next pod, I promise you. But I gotta watch. I've been a little busy. But before we get into our plays, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NBA playoffs, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Just one game today. It's the Knicks game 2 against the Indiana Pacers. Spreads come down a little. Instead of laying 6, they're laying 4.5 now here at home for game 2. Minus 180 on the money line. Plus 152 for the Pacers. Over under is at 222. E, what do you like here?
Deal. Give me the Pacers plus 4.5. Deal. Don't get me wrong. Great game 1. But I don't expect, 70 plus points combined between the Villanova dogs, I expect Tyrese Halliburton to play a little better of a game. He's give me double digits, assists, and rebounds. I just feel like the Pacers could either lose another close, game like they did game one, Dill, or they possibly could sneak one out. They could have easily sneaked one out in game one, kind of like the 76ers at the Garden, Dill. I think every game in this series is going to end up being a real close one, Dill. I think surprisingly, yeah, match up much better than I anticipated. The pace of the game. Do I, like you alluded to the minutes earlier. Do I think the Knicks could be tired, down the stretch of games? Maybe a little, but would it matter if Jalen Brunson's giving you 15, 16, 18 points in the fourth? It wouldn't matter. As long as the buckets are adding up, and the Knicks are probably going to end up winning the game. So I just feel like with the way the Pacers played game one, I love everything I saw. I saw them play at a higher level than I anticipated. It's a scary stage to play at the Garden, though. You should know that's a
Yeah.
scary place to play, and the fact that they wasn't scared, they wasn't shy of the moment. That besides Tyrese Halliburton, a lot of those role players had good games. A la McConnell, you know,
Yeah.
Neesmith, all those OG Toppin coming right back to the Mecca. Like those guys are there. If those key role players show up night in night out, Tyler Sarber is gonna eventually get you a 25 and 10 game. So all I'm saying is the Pacers played much better than I anticipated, and I like them. I'm not saying I like them moving forward in the series. All I'm saying is it wouldn't shock me one bit they lose by 1 or 2 or win the game.
I don't mind laying the minus 180 on the money line. I don't really even care about covering at this point. I just want to win the game. I do think we're the right side. And I'm glad you brought up the point just a few seconds ago, because that was something I forgot to mention talking about game one. When it comes down to stretch, we saw it in the first series. It doesn't even look like the moment gets too big, especially for Brunson. Like, they all look calm. They trust each other. Going back to playing in college, these guys have chemistry, not like a lot of other teams. So I think that's very big, especially here in the playoffs. Tyrese Halliburton has not looked the same since the All-Star break. I mean, he cannot shoot the ball. There's no confidence. Yeah, he could dish it out. He's a good point guard, and he sees the floor pretty well. But we're going to let him shoot. I'll live with that, because I doubt TJ McCollum's going to give him 16 again. I doubt the bench is going to go crazy. Like, they gave us their best punch and we still withheld it. So I don't know. I would lean the Knicks again. Obviously, I'm biased, but I would take the money line. I think every game is going to be nip and tuck. It's going to be very close. I lean over as well. Over 222, but Jalen Brunson's point prop is at 37.5. It wouldn't surprise me if he had another 40-point game. He wouldn't surprise you.
To have 6 consecutive, I think it's
he has 4. He has 4.
Oh yeah, the first player in NBA history to have 4 consecutive 40-plus games, 40-point games with 5 assists. First player in NBA history in the playoffs to do so. Give him credit on that. Can he make it 5? I don't know. Still, I think that's a tough task. Still, if it's anybody point props, I'll lean Miles Turner over 17.5 points. Still, to me, he had a great game one. He could possibly even have a better game two. With that foul call at the end, might motivate him to be a little more aggressive down low. Without, Mitchell Robinson, they might attack your boy Heidenstein, trying to get him in foul trouble. Pascal Turner could easily do that. So I'm gonna lean Miles Turner. Honestly, I'm gonna go their official deal. I ended up saying the same thing with OG Toppin in that smash. So give me Miles Turner over 17.5 points. I feel like he's gonna be a little more aggressive. No Mitchell Robinson and try to get Hardenstein in trouble and see how the Knicks rotate with the big man without the second big man.
He is the worst matchup, I think, for us, and I think he scares me the most out of anybody on that team. Miles Turner and Neesmith, he is a dog. Yeah. He reminds me of another Josh Hart. He gets all these rebounds. He plays good defense. He's not going to blow you out with 25 points, but he'll give you 12 to 15 points, and that's his job. Key buckets. So yeah, I do like both of them, unfortunately, but good. It's going to be a very good series, but yeah, give me the Knicks here. Let's go to Thursday. 2 games. We'll go to game 2 in Boston. They are laying 13.5. They won by 25 in game 1. Plus 644 Cleveland Cavaliers. Over under is at 213. Now, we did see the Heat take game 2 in Boston. Can the Cleveland Cavaliers do that?
I highly doubt it, Dill. I'm gonna just stay away. I lean the minus 14, right? The minus 14 and a half, 13 and a half. But it even pays me to say that I lean that way, Dill. To me, it should be a little more competitive than that, especially in the second round. Donovan Mitchell point prop, I've been smashing it since games, 5 or 6, since the Magic series, been hitting ever since. I'm not sure if 29 and a half is going to hit, though. Is he capable of going for 30 plus? Absolutely. But, if the game gets out of hand once again, is he going to, give you a little more in the fourth quarter, or are they just going to shut it down, go back to Cleveland? Still, so this is a complete stay away for me. If anything, I'll lean Derek White over 17 and a half points just because he killed them today. And it wouldn't shock me if he goes bonkers once again, you know. And, I do expect Jason Tatum to bounce back, but over 26 and a half points, didn't really much need it today. Will they need it game 2? I'm not sure. So I'll lean Derek White over 17 and a half points. And other than that, though, I'm going to just stay away.
Last series, you were much more confident in taking points with the Miami Heat, but it kind of sounds like you're on the fence of taking points with Cleveland Cavaliers because it was the same amount of points. They're always laying double digits at home, but you were more inclined to take the points with the Miami Heat. Why is that?
It's because Miami Heat has had a number over the years. The Cleveland Cavaliers, we saw it. They gave their best effort in the first half. First half, it was a little competitive, but sooner the third quarter, tipped off. Though it was just a manslaughter. The
Yeah.
Boston Celtics just steamrolled them, especially in the second half. They flexed their muscle. They just showed their dominance, though. And from the second half, third quarter on, I just knew this series could be possibly over in 4. It wouldn't shock me if it was over in 4. Do I give a chance to give Cleveland a still one at home? Absolutely. I do give them a shot at home, though, but it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and then the third game on the thing is going to be game 2 of OKC in Miami and Dallas, but no lines yet because the game is at halftime right now. And we do have lines if you want to touch on it real quick. Minnesota hosting the Denver Nuggets, game 3 back at Minnesota. Minnesota is laying 4.5 at home against the Nuggets, minus 190. You got to imagine Rudy Gobert is back. Over under is at 204. Any early leans? Because we could have our official plays on Friday's pod, but anything lean here?
Yeah, Dale. I'm gonna go with the minus 4.5 with the Minnesota. Dale. What we just saw the first 2 games of the series in Denver. What more do I need to say? Do I expect Denver to come out aggressive? Do I expect them to come out and show some championship effort, show them that pedigree? Absolutely, Dill. But to be honest, I think when it comes to the fourth quarter, I just feel like defensively, Wolves could shut it down. And I think offensively, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, even Nas Reed, we saw it in
Yeah.
game 1. They could hurt you, man. They could do what they do. Even Mike Conley could be clutch, still give you buckets. I just feel like the series is over, Dill. So,
Wow.
I'm going to go at Karl Anthony Towns over 19 and a half points. Still, he had
Wow,
almost
that's
had
low.
he almost had 20 in the first half in game 2. I think that number's too low. I'll lean Jamal Murray over 20 and a half.
Really?
Still, he's due for a game. He's due for
I
a game.
guess.
Joker 28 and a half. I don't know. Maybe I expect him to be around there. But I expect Jamal Murray to definitely have himself a game for game 3 because this is do or die. You know what happens when you go down 3-0. At least you
Yeah, it's
go
over.
you at least you can at least go back to Denver down 3-1 and have some hope. Win game 5, then see what happens game 6. But you lose game 3, there it's over. So
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
over.
Jamal Murray's gonna give a great effort. Joker is as well, and I think the whole team was gonna come out and just try harder, be better. But I think it's just the inevitable with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Still, they're just a flat out much better team.
Yeah, I do think that number 19 and a half for Karl Anthony Towns is extremely low. And by Friday, it's going to be around 21, 22 points. It has to be. I doubt it closes at 19. So love that play. Let's go to the Diamond, kid. We're hot on the Diamond. Big slate, 16 games, but not much I really liked, if I'm being honest. Usually I got about 5, 6 plays, but only 3 plays. I might have a player prop or two later on in the day, so maybe go back and check my action. But as of right now, only 3 plays, and I'll start it with the first game in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Phillies hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. Aaron Nola going for the Phillies. Chris Bassett going for the Blue Jays. Minus 148 for the Phillies, plus 130 for the Toronto Blue Jays. Over under is at 8.5. Yeah, I took the Phillies on the run line, plus 140. They're the best team in baseball right now. It's unfortunate to say, but 9-1 their last 10. They've won 7 in a row. They're in first place in a really hard division in the NL East, 25-11. They're great at home, even though their bullpen's not the best. Their offense is raking right now, kid. They're 5th in the league in batting average. They just put up 10 runs in the first game against Toronto. Chris Bassett is good.
He ain't that good.
He ain't that good. Bryce Harper had another grand slam on Tuesday. That's his second grand slam of the season. This team is just on fire right now. Plus 140 to win by 2. Yeah, give me the Phillies on the run line here as my first play. What do you got?
So I kind of did the same thing, but I took a little chalk to play it safe. They'll give me the Philly minus 148 on the money line. Deal, like you said, just to echo everything. They might just be the best team in baseball right now. Offensively on fire. I think Bryce hit back-to-back games with home runs, so he finally finding his swing. Deal, that lineup is just dangerous, and right now,
Yeah.
with Nola on the mound, I'm not gonna say it's the L word, Dill. But all
Yeah,
I'm saying
no.
is I feel good on it.
Yeah. No such thing as the L word. But yeah, when Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, their 1-2 punch are pitching like they are, I hate to say it, but they're very tough out right now. Second game for me will go to a 2:10 Eastern start in Kansas City. The Royals hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. Brady Singer going for the Royals. Joe Ross going for the Brewers. Minus 120 for the home team. Royals plus 110 for the Brewers. Over under is at 9. They were off to a really good start, and they're still a good team, 20-14, but they have regressed a little. The Brewers now 4-6 the last 10 games. They've lost 3 in a row. They've only scored 2 runs in their last 2 games. They're struggling offensively, and against Brady Singer, their ace at home, I just think this is a tough matchup for them. We saw them come back in the first game of the series against Milwaukee and win Kansas City. So they got some fight in them. You can never count them out. Outside of that game where they got blown out 15-4 against the Rangers, they've been winning every game by a lot, 6-1, 7-1, 5-1. So I like this Royal team with their ace on the mound. I think we're getting a short price. So give me the Royals here at home, minus 120.
Nice, Dill. Nice. I ended up just staying away from this game too. I do lean that side. I, the Brewers, I just don't trust them yet on the road. They have been falling off a little bit. Kansas City, shockingly, pretty impressive, Dill. But I'm just staying away from it.
All right, and then let's go to my last play. It's a 2:20 Eastern start in Wrigley. The Chicago Cubs hosting the San Diego Padres. Dylan Cease going for the Padres. Hayden Winowski going for the Cubbies. Padres minus 122. Road favorites plus 108 for the Cubs. Over under is at 8.5. Kid, I feel like this total is way too big. Give me the under 8.5. Dylan Cease has been lights out, and Hayden Winowski, I mean, not a household name, but 2-0 with a 0.54 ERA. He's been lights out. They have a really good bullpen, and both of them have been under teams to start the year. So I'm going to go under. We got winds blowing in at Wrigley, so you always got to check the wind at Wrigley, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, kid. So last play for me is going to be under 8.5. What are your plays?
All right, Dill. Let's start it off. Early game. Los Angeles Angels taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Still over unders at 8. Give me the Pittsburgh Pirates on the money line minus 135 at home. Still, with Perez on the mound, I understand Soriano is going on the opposite side, but to me, I know how I feel about the Angels. I seen them in person. To me, they're not it. Pittsburgh Pirates. I understand they kind of fallen off from like the first 10-game stretch of the season, Dill, but in my opinion, they're clearly the better team. Give me the minus 135 on the money line. Next game up, Detroit Tigers taking on the Cleveland Guardians over under sitting at 8. They'll give me the Guardians on the money line minus 142. It's a little chalky. If you want to lay the run line, by all means, you could make the case the Indians are the second best team in all of baseball, especially in the AL.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. So
Yeah.
Indians, to me, they've been rolling. Detroit's falling off a little bit as well at home. Give me the Indians on the money line, Dill. Miami Marlins taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers, still.
Just the run line.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Give me the Dodgers run line.
Is that like a system play? Like we just gotta fade the
Right-
Marlins on the
right
run
now?
line.
Yeah. So the Marlins, give them credit. They made it interesting for the first inning yesterday. For Ohtani, 2-run home run in the first. This guy Freeman follows up. They go back to back in the first inning, and then the game is over basically right there and there. So give me the Dodgers on the run line. Then my final play of the day will be the Houston Astros taking on the New York Yankees. Over under sitting at 8.5. Dill, you witnessed it in person today. Yankees just smacked them, and I think it's a small chance they do it once again. Give me the Yankees on the money line minus 142. It's a little chalky of a plays. I apologize for tomorrow, people, but hey, gotta find value, and I think I did just that. Dill, the Houston Astros been one of the biggest disappointments in my opinion of this year so far. And the New York Yankees still with Rodon on the mound. It's just a tough game for the Astros. In the Bronx, short porch at right. That lineup is just dangerous still. To be honest, it wouldn't shock me if the number moves up come tomorrow. Give me the Yankees minus 142 on the money line.
Going all chalk tomorrow. I love it. Yeah, Juan Soto, I hate to admit it, but Juan Soto looks amazing.
Yeah.
Went 3 for 4. He's batting .330 on the year. That lineup up and down, even Volpe at top. Yeah, it sucks, but and that crowd gives it to Altuve every time he's up. I'm telling you, it is in their head. But yeah, you're right. One of the biggest disappointments of the season, the Houston Astros. So lean over to 8.5. Just with how bad the bullpen and the pitching staff for the Astros has been, I think the Yankees, I hate to say it, but they're one of the best teams too in the AL. They're tied for first with the Baltimore Orioles in the AL. But yeah, off to a really good start. Kid, any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
No, let's just keep the ball rolling. I think collectively on the last pod, we went 20-4? No, 16-4, something like that.
Hold up, I think we were texting about it, and I couldn't get the math real quick. 16-4.
Yeah,
overall.
So, yeah, last pod, me and Dylan went 16-4. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is, be careful, but at the end of the day, we are hot. That's all.
Yeah. We are hot right now. Let's keep it rolling. And yeah, let's have a great Wednesday and Thursday, kid. That is going to do it for this edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review, comment below who you like coming out of the East and West in the NBA playoffs. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend, everyone, good luck on your wagers. Let's go, Knicks!